Hey guys, really excited that you could be here tonight. I wish I was there with you all. I really enjoy the topic of dinosaurs in the Bible, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight. And there's going to be some questions for you next week. I don't think Lois is going to be taking questions tonight, but I definitely will be taking questions from you next week regarding what you're going to watch tonight. And don't worry, we're well stocked. If you have the answers, you're in good hands. All right, so there's a couple things I want you to think about tonight as you watch this video. It's going to be dealing with dinosaurs in the Bible to some extent. Now, there's a lot of information out there about dinosaurs and the Bible we couldn't really get into tonight. So there was a couple things I wanted to watch, but they're going to be over 2 hours long, and we just didn't have time. So what this video is done by Dr. Kent Hovind. It's a bit of an older video. It was uploaded to YouTube, a little bit lower quality, but the information is basically centered around two main points. First point is that dinosaurs did not go extinct 65 or whatever million years ago. Next point is that dinosaurs have always lived with man. And the third point that he makes is tracing history through to show that dinosaurs could still be living with man in some cases. Obviously not as big as they were, and obviously not as many as they were. So the point is tonight that I want you to get is there's a couple things that we're going to be asking next week. Did dinosaurs live with man? Absolutely. Did dinosaurs go extinct millions of years ago? Absolutely not. When were dinosaurs made? When did dinosaurs come on the scene? Dinosaurs were made in Genesis 1 during creation, during the 6 days of creation when everything else was made. They were there with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And the next thing, it doesn't really get dealt with from Scripture, but is an interesting point, is could some dinosaurs still be alive today? And the answer is very likely. We can't say yes affirmatively, but I would say very, very likely. The next question that comes up that Dr. Kent Hovind deals with just a little bit in this video is the question of the two dinosaurs, Leviathan and Behemoth, dealt with in Job chapter 40. He doesn't really deal with Leviathan, but he does spend a little bit of time talking about Behemoth. There's a lot more information with Dr. Kent Hovind and Dr. Kent Ham, dealing with Leviathan and Behemoth that doesn't get into on this video. So talks about Behemoth a little bit, and then he doesn't really talk about Leviathan. So Leviathan, from what we can tell in Job, is a fire-breathing dinosaur. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, there was most likely some dinosaurs that could breathe fire. They're finding more and more evidence of that all the time, and even evidence in creatures that still exist today of how that would be possible. So Leviathan was most likely a fire-breathing dinosaur of some kind. There's one theory that says he could have been a T-Rex, and people go T-Rex, and you've never associated that with a fire-breathing dinosaur, especially if you've watched Jurassic Park. We just don't see that on there. However, there's more and more evidence and research coming out for this all the time. So in Job chapter 40, God talks about Leviathan and Behemoth to Job as if Job had seen and knew about them, okay? And from the descriptions, we can see that they're most likely two dinosaurs that were alive at the time that Job was, that Job could relate to, Job had seen, Job knew about, and so God chose to use them as illustrations to Job in his conversation in Job chapter 40. So again, Kent Hovind doesn't really deal with that a lot. There's some information I really wanted to show you guys. There's some really cool videos, but again, they're going to be well over 2 hours long or getting close to 3 hours by the time we're done, and we just didn't have time for that tonight. So watch the show, and if you have questions, ask next week. And just remember, it is a little bit lower quality, it is a little bit older, and it is done for a group of kids, grades K to grade 6. And so it's kind of simplified, but it was the best length we had that could fit with youth group and that still touched on some of the information. So next week, ask me if you have any questions, and try to pay attention, and we're definitely going to be looking forward to chatting with you next week. All right, have a great night.